Hi.
So share with me how was your week?
My week has been great actually. Yesterday I went. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of homework and things that I have to do, like the thesis and everything. But then I also yesterday I went to a friend's house, and we had to do a homework for tejido. We had to do some bracelets, and then the guy like kind of dating but not really dating went to see me there, like he picked me up and we went eating with two of his friends. So yeah, it's been pretty chilled out. I've been doing a lot of work, however I've also like managed to spend time with friends.
Okay, so you're telling me that you have been doing a lot of homework and you went yesterday to a friend's house and you were doing another work for tejido, you were doing bracelets, and the guy that you are dating went there to see you, and you went to eat outside and everything. So why did you say like kind of dating? Could you like explain it?
Yeah, because we're not really dating. I mean, I don't know what we're doing right now. I met him some time ago,
Okay.
but and we've like spent a lot of time together,
Okay.
and it's been doing great. Like, yeah, we get along very well. But then I don't know what we are. We have kissed a couple of times.
Okay. Okay, so it seems that it's a little bit confusing because yeah, you have gone out and you kissed, like you said, but you're not really sure what you guys are. Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, actually, we did talk about this like a long time ago, maybe like a month ago, month and a half.
Okay.
And what we said was that we were both in a situation where we couldn't have a relationship. I just ended one, and he is leaving to do his masters.
Okay.
So that's the difficult part. Um, and when we talked, we said that we were just like we were going to like see how it goes. If we end up being like a couple, then that's great. But if we didn't, that's great too. But then also he like when he because we went eating yesterday, and then he took me home, and when he got to his house, he messaged me and he said that he likes me. But I don't know, and I didn't know how to respond to that. So I just like laughed.
Okay. Okay. So you're telling me that you met when you were both in like kind of a tricky situation because you just finished your relationship and he's leaving for the masters. But when you talked about this, you like agreed on the idea that you're just going to watch what comes out of this. Okay. So, and you also told me that he told you like that you liked him, that he liked you, and that made you laugh. So
Yeah, I didn't know how to respond to that. I mean, I do like him, however, I don't know how much I like him.
okay.
And he's kind of weird.
Weird?
Yeah, like he sometimes like seems very interested in me, but then there are sometimes that, not that he's not interested, but like that it doesn't really matter if he sees me or not. So yeah, that's kind of like the weird part.
Okay.
So I don't know how much I like him. I don't know if I should like him.
Why do you know if you should like him?
Because of the time that has. Because I broke up with my boyfriend on January, so it's not that long ago. So I don't know if it's fair for me, it's fair for this person or to my ex. Yeah.
Okay. But if you had the chance and if the timing was like, I don't know, perhaps 6 months after you finish your past relationship, do you think that you would like to have a relationship with this person?
Yeah, I think so. I really like him. He's really nice. He's very like polite, and he's very interesting to talk to. But then I don't know like the real answer because I sometimes do think about my ex. So I don't know if in like if my ex didn't existed, maybe if he didn't existed, maybe I would say yes to this question.
Okay.
However, I don't know right now.
Okay, so it seems that even though you do spend a lot of time with him and you have fun with him and you really like him, um, your ex-boyfriend is still a present figure in your life. So how did your relationship finish? Was it in good terms, bad terms?
At first, I thought it was in a good term. We spoke to each other, and he said why he didn't want to be with me, and well, he said that I could count on him whenever I wanted, and this like vice versa. But then I've seen him like 3 times, like at bars or yeah, some places. But then he acts very weird. Like he wouldn't say hi to me. He would get really angry at his friends if they are with me. So he's acting very childish and not mature, as he said he was going to act, because he said I was a very important person to him, and that that I meant a lot to him. But then with all of these things that he do, I don't think that I was that important, because he just treats me like if he didn't know me or things like that. So I really don't know how things ended.
Okay, so the conclusion, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the conclusion that you have of all of this is that perhaps you weren't as important as you think you were to him?
Yeah, yeah, I thought I was important, but also he told me that I was important to him. But now that I see him act, or I mean, I don't know if that's the way he makes people think that they are important or not. But yeah.
Okay, so it seems that it's confusing you. Do you think that it affects the way that you see yourself?
At first, I think it did, because at first I was blaming myself everything, like the reason why he broke up with me and the reason why he didn't like me, or like anything that I could think of. I was blaming it on myself. But right now, not really. I think that it's more about him. Um, yeah, I thought that he was different. However, he's proving me that he's not different. He's not that mature. He's childish. So yeah.
Okay, so after all of this, do you think that there is something that you can like rescue from your relationship, or how would you describe your past relationship?
It was a really great relationship. Actually, I think it was my best relationship. I really loved him, and I had a really great time with him. We had a really good connection to each other. So yeah, I think like when he acts this way, it's very difficult for me to remember the good person that he was. But then I know that I have like everything saved in my mind and in my heart, and that I know that he was a good person and that he was a good boyfriend. And so yeah, I do remember everything in a good way.
Okay. So the idea that you have from your past relationship could be affected by the way that he's behaving right now. Okay.
Yeah, completely.
So do you think that you understand why he's behaving this way, or is just like out of the blue?
I mean, I don't know. Like he said that it was okay. We saw each other like frequently at parties or something, and I even told him that like I would like him to say hi to me or greet with me if like he sees me on the street or something. But then he's not doing that, so yeah, I don't know.
So the fact that he's not doing what he said that he was going to do affects you? Yeah?
Yes, I think in the moment it does.
Okay.
But then, like for example, right now I just don't really care. But if I saw him like this afternoon and he like didn't say hi to me or something, then it would affect me.
Okay, so of what you have said to me, I can tell that your relationship was really good. He was a good boyfriend. He was always there for you. But right now, he is a person that is like childish, like you said, and is also he doesn't say hi to you when you're on the street and all of these things, but that it is not as important right now as it was when you just broke up.
Yeah, I think that with time it has like dissolved this pain, the anger that I felt, but it hasn't gone away completely. It's still there. It's like in the back of my head, like constantly there, but not always out there. I don't know if I make any sense. Um, I think about him less right now than I did before, but it's still something that haunts me, and it feels, and it's something that feels it's so surreal, like it's a dream, and that I will wake up and that he's going to be there, but I know that that's not going to happen.
So it seems that in a way you don't want it to be over, but then you know that it's over already. Um, do you think that you can understand or separate this person that was in the relationship from this person that is right now outside the relationship?
I think that I should do that. I think that I haven't done that correctly. I sometimes mix this person that is right now with the one he was before, and it's very like unpleasing to see that, because I didn't remember him like that. But then he's not the same person, and probably I'm not the same person as I was a few time ago.
So it seems to me that it was a really hard time for you when you just broke up. Could you say, or would you say that you have perhaps recovered a little bit from this breakup?
I have recovered a lot, not 100%. This other guy has helped me a lot.
Okay.
I've also managed to understand that I need to like deal with this process and deal with every single emotion and make myself the priority. It's been very hard because I'm usually not the kind of person that puts myself first, but then these past months I have done that, and I even felt selfish at times.
Why did you feel selfish?
For example, one of my best friends had a birthday party, and we went to this club, and my ex-boyfriend, he usually goes there, and he was there, so I had to leave. And yeah, so I felt very selfish that I couldn't stay at my best friend's birthday, and I felt like I was a terrible friend. But then I told myself, like, you're the priority. If you're not feeling good right now, you have to go. And I left, and I talked to her, and she was fine with it. Obviously it did like matter because I'm one of her best friends also, but then she understood me, and she understood completely that I wasn't feeling that great. So yeah, kind of things like that. Usually I would never like leave a birthday party of someone that's so important to me, because they like I prioritize them a lot more than me. But then this time I have been doing that, so I have felt selfish.
Okay. So despite the fact that you have always put your friends first, and that the fact that this has been like really hard for you, you have managed to learn some things. One of the most important things is like you learn to put yourself first when you are not feeling good with a situation. So even though it's hard, you have managed to like come or go through with all of these things, and perhaps you realize some things that you didn't consider or didn't know that may happen. For example, the thing that happened with your friend, like perhaps you thought that she was not going to forgive you if you left, but then she took it in a pretty decent way. Yeah. So there are more things that you have learned in this time, and you said that this guy is helping you. Could you like tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so okay, so with my ex-boyfriend, I used to like spend a lot of time together. And when we broke up, I was left alone. I had to do things like sports alone, like workouts, or do my homework alone. And it was hard. And although this person isn't doing those things with me, I'm doing them like by myself. he's present on other like moments. For example, I don't know. For example, on Thursdays I don't have class, so I can like tell him to do something with me, and he will do that to me with me. So yeah, so he's been very present. Like I've seen him every single like week since we met.
Mhm.
So yeah, he has helped me in that way.
Okay. So perhaps he had helped you like go through all of this process in a healthier way.
Yeah, and also the fact that I feel kind of like attracted to him makes me feel better in a way, because it makes me feel like I can feel something for someone else rather than just not feeling anything. So yeah, it does help.
Okay, so when this guy in the previous relationship broke up with you, like you were left without the habits that you used to have, like working out, and now you have to do all those things together. But with the presence of this guy, it kind of is easier to make, even though you're making them alone. And you're also glad that you can feel something. Perhaps you thought that you weren't able to feel anymore.
Yeah, I thought that I was never going to love someone the way I did, and I still think I like that way. However, I do think that I will be able to like someone else. For example, this guy, I don't know if I'm going to ever love him the same way I did with my ex-boyfriend, but I've also learned a lot of things, like I don't know, like I used to get mad at stupid things with my ex-boyfriend, that now I just reject them. I just don't care about them, which I think it's healthier for me, because I don't use my energy or put my energy on things that don't really matter.
Okay. So, despite the fact that it has been hard, you have learned a lot of things, you are in a happier place, but then again, you don't feel like it's the time for you to formalize things with this person because of the time that you have spent alone from your past relationship.
Yeah, but also because he's leaving, and I don't know if we are going to be able to have a distance relationship. I don't know if he wants that. I don't know if I want that. It's going to suck when he goes and he leaves. I think it's going to like move me in some ways. I don't know how I'm going to react. I'm also leaving to New York soon, to just for a couple of weeks. But then it also scares me, like not seeing him, because I've seen him every single week for like since January basically. So it's weird not going to see him, and I don't know if things are going to change or not.
Okay, so you're leaving for New York, he's also leaving, and this is kind of an important reason why you're not with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you want to keep seeing him even though that he's going to leave.
Yeah, completely. I still want to be his friend. Like, I don't know what we are. I know we are friends. Yeah, so I really enjoy like spending time with him, talking to him. As I said before, he's very interesting. He's very intelligent, so and very funny. So it's great having a time like spending time with him. And I do want to still see him. And even after he's gone, would like to still talk to him.
Okay. So are you afraid of what will happen when you don't see him because he's going to leave for the masters?
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
Okay.
What would happen? Like, I feel like he's kind of a distraction right now. What would happen to me if he leaves and then I feel like I am left alone? Not because of him, but because of what's been happening, like with my ex-boyfriend and how he just left. What would happen? Like, it wanders in my mind that maybe I didn't like process the grief correctly, and then I'm just like putting it aside. And then when he leaves, like this guy, then everything else is going to come back. I don't know.
Okay. So you're telling me that you feel like you didn't have this closure or this grief for your past relationship, and you're afraid that when he goes, the same thing would happen, or it would like add up to what is happening right now?
I think that it's going to add up because I do feel like I had closure with my ex-boyfriend. I've like tried to talk to him a lot of times, so he finally said yes to one of the times I said we should talk, and then we did, and I had that closure. So that's there. However, what would happen? Like what I'm trying to say is, what would happen if because I met this guy, I just denied all of my emotions and put them aside. But when he leaves, that I'm left completely alone. What happens if it comes back? Like that's the um, what I'm trying to say.
To say that perhaps you won't know what to do in that moment. In the past grief that you have had, what happened? Like, what did you do? How did you cope with the fact that you were alone?
I try to do things that I enjoy doing. The thing is, I wasn't enjoying them. For example, I used to read, like, previous to my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, I used to read, I like to watch movies or series. Um, I painted mandalas and things like that. But when I was like grieving and was missing him, I just couldn't find pleasure in doing those stuff. So I lost a lot of motivation. But then I continued to do those things to try to gain it back. And I kind of did. So right now, if I watch a series or paint a mandala, I do enjoy it. So hopefully I can do the same thing.
Okay, so you were adjusting to his living, to him living, by trying to do the things that you enjoyed, and you were enjoying them like bridge every time in the video. So right now you think that perhaps that's something that you could do when he lives, to like acknowledge the fact that he's
Yeah.
in another country.
Also, something that helped me was like surround myself with people that I love. For example, my family and friends. So maybe I could get in touch with people that I haven't talked to much lately, or just like keep watching the people who I like watch every day or something.
Okay, so it seems that you do know what you're going to do, but you are really scared. Could it be perhaps because of the fact that you don't like being alone?
Yeah, I do think that I don't like being alone. Um, like some years ago, I did like being alone. I even loved it. It was better for me to be alone. I don't know what happened. I think I do know what happened when I met this guy, like my ex. Everything felt better when I was with him than being alone. So I started to like more like being accompanied, like together, being with him. So right now that when I'm alone, yeah, it feels kind of weird. So I just have to adjust myself to being alone and to liking being alone. But yeah, it is because I'm kind of afraid of being alone.
Okay, so you are aware that this is something that has happened to you because of the previous relationship that you had, and not because you've always been this way. Okay.
No, it's not something that
So
I've been this way.
you do know that there are some things that you enjoy doing alone that perhaps changed a little bit when you met him, but you worked to like letting yourself enjoy all of these things that you told me, like the mandalas and series and books. And even though it's scary, you think that that's something that you may have to do when he leaves, this guy leaves.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you want is that you two could keep being friends even though he's far away and even after that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are not seeing this as a formal relationship, but it's a really important part of your life right now, because he's a support for you in many ways, and he makes you laugh and he makes you happy. But would you say that it's similar to your previous relationship in a way, or it's just two different things?
I think it's very different. I mean, we do have a kind of connection. However, I think that with my ex-boyfriend, it was like deeper. It was a deeper connection, and also we have a different relationship. Yeah, it's very different. Some of the traits that this other person has are like similar to the ones my ex-boyfriend had, and some of those things used to bother me a lot when my ex-boyfriend was my boyfriend. But right now it's just not bothering me. I just try to ignore it and not make a huge like thing. Um, but yeah, I could say it's a very different relationship. I think I've matured a lot.
Okay. Okay, so you do know how to separate this relationship from your previous relationship, and even from the fact that you spend the time long or short in between those two relationships, and also that you do realize what was the flaws in the previous relationship, even in your side,
Mm-hmm.
and you do know that there are some things that you can change
Mm-hmm.
and that you're going to have to go through when this whole process ends, and if you have to go through the grief again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, and perhaps we could talk a little bit more.
Thank you.